Hey guys, Asher Racial Legends. Welcome to the video. Sending some love, some positive vibes your way, especially if you need them out there today. Hopefully you're all doing well, happy, healthy this Monday. We have, first of all, belated happy Father's Day to any dads out there in the audience. I spent the day with my kiddo. He got me a little poem, which is very cute picture, as well as a little ducky with I love dad on it. So had a great day. Very lucky guy to have that little guy in my life. So again, shout out to all the dads in the audience. So what do we have going on today? Well, we have some news. I just dropped a video, by the way, about blessings, some damage blessings. What are the best blessings for damage? In case you missed it an hour or so ago on the channel, a double upload day. But now we get some news here of a couple events coming up. These are going to be 15x events. They're going to start Tuesday, June 17th. The next one will go Wednesday, June 18th, okay? So who are our progressive chance legendaries? I imagine, by the way, there'll be some sort of an event tied to this that probably corresponds as well to the Demon Slayer Titan event as well. How are you guys doing on that event? I guess I'm doing not the gear enhancement there. I'm at milestone 2 right now, so I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, who are the champions and are they any good? Just as I say every single video, and I will continue to say on these Shard news videos, 15X is far, far, far from a guarantee that even if you do get the legendary, that even with the progression that you actually get these legendaries that you hope for. So buyer beware, figuratively and literally in this case. One slot legendary champion starting tomorrow on Tuesday will be Arman's Regosh, Stalis, and Thor, in Gottfried, excuse me. And then Odin, Rio, and Tamia. So let's quickly go through these champions. Tamia, I mean, she's actually a really good champion, but her claim to fame, other than being a solid control champion with an AoE stun and burn champion, she's actually pretty good. She's also the empowerment champion for Marius, which is probably her best utility, just given how good Marius is in the game. But if you're looking for a burner, you can do a lot worse than her as well. Rio Bone Spear, one of my favorite Void Legos in the game. Rio is, if you don't have her, she might be worth going for because, especially if you want to, participate in the corresponding events and whatnot. In a feral set, she's one of the best out there. She has all these debuffs on her A2, which again makes her one of the best 9-piece feral candidates in the game. Beyond that, though, she has this beautiful 3-turn cleanse with the block buffs, debuffs, 2 turns, and the heal. Very, very good. Solid base stats, more heals on the A1. Just such an amazing champion. Also, when receiving any debuffs, transfers them from this champion to the attacker. That's on a 3-turn cooldown, but it's also an exceptionally good ability. And of course, Odin. I mean, all of these voids are very, very good. Odin, he's exceptional. He has that great passive where he's putting block damage on all allies every 9 turns with that buff spread as well. It's so strong. Such a strong passive here. He has the best speed aura in the game for the arena. Granted, it's void only, but it's 40%. And then he has this insanely good A2, removes all buffs from all enemies, places a decreased defense and a stun on a 3-turn cooldown. It's sick. Very sick. It's very reminiscent of kind of Gurgo the Augur having the freeze on all enemies and the buff removal and goes again and places the decreased defense. It's very similar kind of dynamic here in his kit. But then he has the enemy max HP ability. I'm not going to read it all, but this is insanely good in the arena, can kill mostly anybody, and if you get kill, you revive an ally, but it's also very good against bosses. It's an enemy max HP ability, right? So he's just a very, very good, I would say top 20 Void Lego in the game. Arguably maybe even better. Gottfried, Thor, we're familiar with Thor. I don't have Thor still, so he might be the dude that I go for if I do summon it all. A lot of damage from Thor, right? Really one of the better attack-based damage dealer fusions that we've had in recent memory. Very good in Hydra with the decreased speed as well. Then we have Gottfried. Gottfried is underrated little dwarf. He's not an S-tier champion, but he's pretty cool for a couple reasons. He has an increased defense. It's all right on his A3. He has a stun shot, or a provoke shot, rather, on his A1. He has an AoE stun 3-turn cooldown on Concuss on his A2. But really, it's this brass-clad passive that makes him certainly unique enough to consider pulling for. And that's whenever an ally is attacked while under a block damage buff placed by this champion places a stun on them. How do they get the block damage? If an ally is about to get killed by a fatal hit, blocks that damage and places a block damage buff on them for 1 turn. It's a great kind of go second mechanic. He's a good control champion. He's a dynamic little dwarf. Pretty cool. Stalis and Regosh and Armans. So Stalis, I mean, he's good defense-based damage dealer, with 2 strong AoEs in his kit. He also has a stun chance, 65% chance on his stun on a 3-turn cooldown. But of course, his claim to fame is being probably the best, arguably, the best dragon champion in the game, right? Because whenever an enemy tries to place a poison on him, it reflects it right back to the attacker. So he ends up being, for a champion who has no poisons in his actual kit, he ends up being the best poisoner because of the number of poisons that the dragon can drop on your team. So as long as you keep this dude alive, he can solo, or duo, I guess, the dragon, right? Because he'll just reflect all those poisons back till the dragon's dead. So very good in that regard, and useful beyond that too. He brings his own increased defense for an increased defense-based damage dealer, All right, and then Regosh. I mean, Regosh is great. He's kind of an all-arounder, Regosh, right? He's Spirit Affinity. He's defense-based, and is he right in front of my face? Yes, he is. He's got an AoE decreased defense and a stun. This is 100% stun on a 3-turn cooldown. So similar to Gottfried, I mean, this is the theme here, right? Is these AoE stun champions, at least a few of them in the mix. AoE stun, decreased defense, and he hits freaking hard. He's definitely one of the harder hitting legendary defense-based champions in the game. He brings a strengthen and an increased speed, 2 very, very nice buffs for your entire team, and a perfect veil on himself. He also has a increased defense on himself on his A1. So similar to Stalis, he's bringing his own increased defense at the start of each turn. Perfect veil for the ally with the highest attack. So he's protecting your nukers, or squish your nukers as well. I mean, there's a lot to love about Regosh. Defense in all battles to round out the kit by 30%. Very, very good. And, of course, Armans. Well, we all know about Armans, don't we? Probably one of the most nefarious champions in the game. His reputation certainly precedes him. An AoE stun, steal all turn meter, turn somebody into sheep, remove all buffs from all enemies, and there's just so much more to his kit beyond that too. Increase the cooldown of random active skills. After someone gets turned into a sheep, they get the cooldowns, a random skill, to max. I mean, that's just busted, that passive, right? Fills his turn meter by 10% for each turn added to the cooldown. I mean, there's just so much going on here. Just one of the best arena champions in the entire game, one of the best control champions in the entire game. So if you don't have Armans, man, it's got to be tempting to go for Armans right there, right? Let's start with the voids here again, guys. We have how do you say her name again? I forgot. I looked it up and then I forgot. I'm going to ignore it. We have the spear here, defense base, a lot of defense in her kit. She's got a decreased attack and a decreased crit rate on her A1. On her A2, she's got if they have more than 50% HP, it's always critical and ignore 50% of the target's defense. A shield on all allies at the same time. Even more going on here. If it's a boss, the shield is proportional to this champion's defense. Instead, we have an AoE heal as well as a block debuffs and an ally protection, all on a 3-turn cooldown when booked. Block damage buff on all allies for 1 turn at the start of each round. And each time this champion's HP drops to 50% or below 50%. Really, to me, it doesn't scream void legendary, like amazing champion, but she is a champion that you'll definitely, is solid, like a solid champ. What do the reviews say? Pretty good. I mean, in the arena, 4.8. I don't see her as like an end game meta arena champion. Certainly I haven't seen her much in live arena at all, but she's not a bad champion, so she's not my favorite, but not my least. I'm kind of on the fence a little bit there, clearly. Nekrret the Great and Warlord, though, both fantastic. Warlord's the best decreased skill cooldown champion in the game, and with a turn meter depletion as well on this ability, it's very, very good. The only downside to Warlord, and I'm really nitpicking on one of the best controllers out there, is his speed is 100, so a little bit slower than the Yamekos and the Krixias and some of the other turn decreased cooldowns. The difference is he has the full decretion of all of the turn meters or the skills rather, and he's void as well. So a lot to love about Warlord. Block debuffs and the shield and the heal on the 3-turn cooldown on the A2. 2, duration of all debuff increase on his bludgeon, his A1. So Warlord still at the top of his game for one of the old school original Void Legos in the game, right? And then next up we have Nekrret the Great. Nekrret, really one of the more underrated I would say underutilized champions in the game right now, meaning that Nekret's really freaking good, you know? And what I'm trying to say is I'm seeing him more and more and more in top live arena. Like more and more often, top players are using Nekrret, and for good reason. Not only is he an amazing combo champion with the likes of Marius, with the AoE and Feeble on the ally attack, not to mention the protection that he gives, but obviously Allele and so many other strong combos utilizing strong A1s on squishy champions. So very, very good. Tough to get rid of. Has that shield dynamic. Every time someone's attacked by under the ally attack that he brings. The extra turn mechanic. Very tanky. Just a very, very good champion. And useful everywhere. I mentioned the arena, but he's certainly useful everywhere in the game. Just being a void affinity tanky, very good for ally attack, Fire Knight, you know, you name it. He has a triple hitter, by the way, on his A1 with a decreased attack that cannot be resisted. Big version, so good against bosses all over the game as well. Great progression champion, great endgame champion, Nekrret the Great. And then we have, okay, so those are the voids. Brogny and Helath. So Brogny is an old school fusion at this point, I would say, right? He's got the grow shield ability, of course, the first champion in the game to have that grow shield mechanic. They've since nerfed it a bit with Corpulent Cadaver and whatnot, but either way, he brings block debuffs, he brings increased attack, he's still viable on some shield growth teams. He has an AoE, removing a buff from all enemies. He's a great tank. He brings a burn on his A1 as well. So really, a very good support champion in the game, brings some essential buffs and a great shield mechanic. And the burn, like I said. And good old Helath, maybe not quite as used as he once was when he was a fusion back in the day, but again, they're bringing back all these fusions in this these summoning events, obviously. Where the heck is he? Man, am I blind today? I think I absolutely am. Like, he's right in front of my face, man. Helath was used insanely a lot on Demon Lord teams, right? When he was introduced to the game as kind of an upgraded version of Rosh Carved the Tower. Not just that, but used in Nether Spider, used in Iron Twins, kind of a very versatile champion in the arena as well. He's defense-based with a block damage that gets replaced with an increased defense after it expires or is removed. He also has a nice big shield and some nice damage. What I love, too, is he auto-attacks or he randomly counterattacks with his default skill whenever an ally's hit while under block damage, and his A1 actually hits really hard, and it ignores shield and block damage. So a lot going on here, a lot to like about Helath still to this day, though maybe just not as essential as he was when he was released in the game, where everybody was using these unkillable or block damage teams in multiple areas, especially old school clan boss. All right, Ultimate Death Knight and Korra in Snick Track. Well, UDK is still freaking good. He's still good. He's still got it. So many different ways to build him, but of course the most popular is high resist, tanky, 2-turn stone skin, as slow as humanly possible, right? For the arena, because this too awesome, when the didn't need him, when the too awesome to die passive kicks in, it's just one of the best protection mechanics out there in the game in the arena to mitigate obviously single targeting, not just damage, but also, you know, some control abilities out there as well. And then the didn't need him actually makes him a pretty viable support champion and can even solo stuff either in a toxic set or in slow kind of War Master builds in certain dungeons, specifically Ice Golem. He can help keep your team alive with the shield and continuous heals, as well as some control with the fear and the provoke on his A1. So certainly a very viable and very good champion still to this day. He, of course, was a freebie way back in the day. White Queen and Korra and Snick Track. Let's talk about Snick Track first really quickly. Very good champion. Specifically, very good in Chimera. Can knock out some tricky trials. He's got decreased attack, right? He's got a decreased speed. He's got a shield. He's got an ally protection and reflect damage, right? As well as the leech. So he brings a few like debuffs and buffs that are tricky to find, especially in solid champions, especially that reflect damage. So good tank, support-ish type champion, kind of brings a versatility to the table that you don't often find in terms of everything that he brings, right? So overall, definitely good for Chimera Trials and good for progression generally in Snick Track. Can have some viability too in areas like Hydra. Okay, last but not least, going to be White Queen Ancora. I have a video that I just recorded yesterday, probably be out in a day or two on the main channel, talking about criminally underrated champions. I didn't officially include her on the list, but I started with talking about 2 champions in that video that are rated very highly, but I think they're even better than what people think of them. And White Queen Ancora was actually one of them. I think most people think she's like A or A plus tier. I think she's S tier. And I know I'm quibbling a little bit here, but just making a point that she is exceptionally good. I personally think, obviously it depends on what you need, but I think that overall, Arman's and White Queen are the best champions here in the just in a vacuum, right? And again, it depends, but she brings so much to the table. Decreased cooldown, right? She has a if the cooldown of the skill is also fully reset, we're healing, right? Make it a 50% chance to decrease the cooldown of a random ally skills by 2 turns. This is our A1, ladies and gentlemen. She's got great synergy with White King Narcissus, but even on her own, she's got a cleanse, a shield, and a turn meter fill on a 3-turn cooldown. She has a really good revive on a 3-turn cooldown that after the revival, she decreases the turn meter of all enemies by 10%. And oh, by the way, she resets the cooldown of the revived ally skills. Full reset similar to Godseeker and Neri. She brings 75% turn meter on her 3-turn single target revive and 50% HP. The Queen Consort, though, is really, to me, what puts her over the top as just an insanely good champion. Whenever an enemy tries to place a CC debuff on an ally with the highest crit damage, she's going to take those debuffs instead. Fills the turn meter of this champion by 50% if she does miss her turn due to those debuffs. At the start of this champion's turn, she's going to remove CC debuffs from this champion if White King is on the same team. So really powerful to take away those CCs from your damage dealer. They will not be able to be CC'd. She steals those, and if she does lose her turn, she gets that big turn meter increase along with the speed in all battles. She's such a strong champion, very fast, very tanky, everything that you want in a really, really awesome reviver. So there it is, guys. Those are all the events going on. Let me know, are you enticed to pull during any of these summoning events? If so, who would you be going for? Let me know about it in the comments below. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.